All right, everybody. You know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for all those of you who decided to join us here, either live on various social media platforms or via the archive. Big shout out to those of you who are now following us on YouTube. Thanks so much for those of you who've gotten us over the 1,000 mark. We are now at 1040 for our subscribers on YouTube. And remember, if you are on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe. You can follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. That's on all platforms. That's how you can find us and catch the show. And if you have a great topic for us, we would love to bring you or your family member on. If you have a coach or a player that's doing some big stuff, let us know. We love to bring them on to the broadcast. We are a totally interactive show. So again, we love familia. So if you got a family member doing some stuff, a coach, a player, we don't care. Bring them on, and we would love to again have them be a part of our show. Well, speaking of family, I have two gentlemen from right down the road that have been involved with sports most of their lives. They're not that old, but they are sports guys. I'm talking about the one and only Way brothers are in the building. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Hey, Mr. Simmons, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We doing well.
Well, I know you guys are feeling good. The season has jumped off to a nice start. I believe Ola finds themselves undefeated. Talk to us a little bit about that. Brother to brother, convo right now. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, really last week, Ola played a big region game against Jones County. Overall game, Ola played very well, holding Jones County deep offense really by 3 points. So, Kaden, describe how well did you play?
Really, I think the game, it was really a defensive game. It came down to whose defense going to last longer. You know, the score of the game, we won 7-3. So really, it was a very low scoring game. You know, it came down to a defensive battle. Whose defense was going to hold out longer, and we came out on top.
That was very good. Also, as well, even though that not as much scoring in the game, you did do a lot of production on offense, rushing for almost 100 yards. Describe what you see on the offensive side.
Offensive side, I feel like I said, their defense is really tough, really. So for me on offensive side, it was more of a I kind of knew it was gonna be I was gonna break one. It was more kind of I was gonna keep pounding the ball, keep getting yards, 4 or 5 yards at a time, really, and that's what I did. You know, hope the team prevail, get the win, and it's really a little slow offensive game, but we came out on top, and that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, all right. So next week I play against Eagles Landing High School. Y'all, you think y'all will come out with a win, remain undefeated?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, all right. Back to Mr. Simmons.
A lot of confidence there, as it should be from young Mr. Way. And again, you guys are a lot of people. In this day and age, everybody wants a lot of scoring. Everybody wants to see a lot of points. But at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, and both of you guys know because Big Brother played before you. What counts in the standings? W's.
Yeah, W's. Defense too. Defense wins championships.
Bottom line, speaking of defense, I have a young lady. She's one of the most beautiful women in sports talk radio or TV, and she's all about that defensive life. I'm talking about the Queen. Tree Dolman is back in the building. Queen, what's happening?
Hello. Hi. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Good.
well. How are
Hey,
you?
Jonathan. Doing
I'm
well.
doing good. Gentlemen, you made the Queen happy. When you start talking about defense, oh yeah, she's all
Yeah,
about that life, sir. She's all
Hey,
about
he
that.
said it. Defense wins championships.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
And yeah, Tree, I was mentioning earlier, I was listening to both of them talk about the last two victories have been 7-3, but they've been over very tough opponents. And the bottom line is that going into game number 4, their record is 3 of those wins and none of those L's.
Yes, I want to keep it that way.
And I believe
So,
mainly for the production side for the defense. Ola, I believe Ola has the best defense in the region so far. And I believe that they can most definitely make it to the playoffs and possibly championship.
Okay.
there's no doubt you guys got it laid out. And now, Caden, you play. You're what we call today. I guess they got a new term, ATH or athlete, because you play both ways. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have a preference?
Preference, right? Really, I don't really got a preference for it. As long as I'm on the field playing, contributing to the team, do anything to get the win. Really.
That's a great answer.
Good answer, young man. That's right. Anything it does to win, and it helps if as you go along. Like you said, if the emphasis is to really get playing time, well, what better way to do it if the coach knows, hey, if I need a big stop on defense, I'm gonna put you on. I think on defense you play safety. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. If I need a tough yard or two on offense, hey, we'll put you in the running back position. So you're looking pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Well, look, who you
They
guys
say
play next week?
Travis Hunter.
That's how it works. I mean, I got a chance to see Travis a little bit when he was at Collins Hill, and yeah, man, the guy's got a motor. And speaking of that, playing both ways, I know you have to be in shape. But Kate, what do you do anything extra knowing that you might have to play maybe 10, 15, 20 more snaps maybe than some of the other teammates?
Oh, yes, sir. So really, after practice every day, really, I go out there. Me, a couple other teammates who play both sides too. Go out there running a few extra sprints after practice. Really get the extra work in. We do things called 110s. Ooh, it's bad.
Them 110s are no joke.
See, Tree knows about those, but yeah, that sounds.
I've ran plenty of 110s.
Buddy, man, I'm lucky to run a 10, let alone a 110. I'm happy about that. If I can do that, I'm good.
My days was over back then. Well, I don't know. I can do those now.
Yeah. I can't even envision doing anything like that. Listen, now Corey, on your side of the ball, tell people a little bit before we wrap up what you're looking to do as you get through your college career. Tell people a little bit how you want to intertwine with athletes and do some more stuff with them off the field.
Well, actually, I'm really in making of my sports agency. I actually have a name for it already now. It's called MTA, More Than an Athlete. So basically, my concept of it was that as of today, you know what I'm saying, a lot of athletes they don't show like what they're not doing on the field. Basically, like what makes them that personality. And my whole plan was like I want to give them that. I want to see what are their other talents off the field as well. Just making another image of them, really a positive image of them, something that will grasp more college coaches towards them. And that's really what I'm really trying to do. And I'm focusing on doing that after I graduate. Starting right now with my brother.
I love that. So do you have 2 URLs already purchased?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Do you have 2 URLs already purchased?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I already do.
Which ones?
Really, I really have 2 URLs.
Website.
She's asking that for a reason
website
because
address.
right.
Website address.
Yeah, I have one address.
Do you have morethananathlete.com?
Yeah, I do have morethanathlete.com. I do have an address.
Also,
Well, it's really in the making right now. So it's like,
yeah, but as long as you purchase the URL, you don't have to have the website built yet.
yeah.
As long as you've already bought morethananathlete.com, you're good. But you also need to buy morethananathlete.org.
Lord,
So
yeah.
buy that as well. Then also buy mta.com, mta.org.
Sounds great.
And then trademark it. So when you get your logo, register it with the trade office. So it's a federal trademark that nobody else in the United States, because that is a wonderful name. And you're putting it out there. So make sure you get all the social media handles, even if you don't use them yet, but just make sure you secure all the social media handles. You did the most important thing with the URLs. Make sure you register as business. You said it's official, so I assume that you did that. And make sure you register it as a federally marked trademark where you can use the registered trademark symbol. Nobody else in the United States can have that name or your logo. So make sure you do both. You can trademark the logo and the name. And if you have a slogan, you can do all of that in one trademark, and it actually saves you money, because if you go back in later, then you have to pay that fee again. So
okay.
Just trying to make sure I give people the jewels, because we get so many people that forget those things. Like even the guy that came out with Detroit versus everybody, he didn't trademark it at first, and it blew up, and he missed out on millions of dollars because he didn't trademark it. Now it's trademarked, but when you start a business, like I tell people, because some people say, oh, well, I wasn't sure if it was going to do well. Well, if you didn't think it was going to do well, why did you start it in the first place? Like, you have to believe in your business, and you should expect it to do well. And I'm telling you, what your concept of what you just said is amazing. And I definitely would be interested in it, because that's one of the things I focus with. And I've also spoken with Jonathan about that, where we a lot of times would bring on athletes and talk about what they were doing in the community and things that they were doing off the field or off the court. So I think that there's definitely a huge market for that. And I wish you nothing but success with it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the advice.
Woman, the queen has spoken.
I have all kinds of, like, one thing people don't know about me, like, I'm a true entrepreneur. I have a lot of businesses here.
Like I said, gentlemen, the queen's about that life. Yeah, she's about that business life. She's about that defense. And really, if you think about it, defense of your name and your intellectual property is what she's breaking down, man. So, I mean, she's giving it to you all the way around. Well, look, guys, how can people find out more about you gentlemen? Do you have a social media or a website? I know you work on a website. How about social media?
Yeah, actually, I'm starting the Instagram account really next week. So it's going to be called MC More Than an Athlete.
Okay.
And then my other Instagram account is at capital C Way Jr.
Oh yeah, C Way, then 3 E's there. At the bottom right there.
So I was ready for you this time, guys. I got it up on the screen for those people who are watching. There it is right there. C Way with 3 E's on the end, and C Way Jr. And guys, we appreciate you coming on. And a big shout out to the original C Way Sr., who I get a chance to work with, former athlete at Westlake High School himself. And as you guys can see, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. Two fine young men out here with us. And gentlemen, we look forward to having you guys back again. And congratulations. 3-0, sir. 3-0. Not too shabby. Good way to start the season.
4-0.
Excuse me. 4-0. Yeah, so now with the one real quick before I get off the air, where does that put you guys in the region? You guys rank like number 1, number 2. Where you guys in the region so far?
We're number 1 right now.
We're number 1, baby. Yes, indeed. Well, listen, man, again, we appreciate you guys for joining us, and we look forward to following you guys to the rest of the season. And give a big shout out to your mom and dad. I won't see your dad tomorrow, so just tell them, hey, appreciate the love and having you guys come on and join us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
There's some bad young brothers, the Way brothers in the building. All right, guys, we got some more young guns coming up. You know what it is. Second Tuesday of the month is, well, you have to keep it locked right here to find out what it is. But more of the Real Talk Sports Show coming up in just a moment. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, guys, we're back here with the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Minister Jonathan Simmons, and right next to me is the always lovely and dazzling, we call her the Queen. Tree Dolman is in the building. Well, Tree, you know, the second Tuesday of each month is what we have slotted to be Jonesboro Tuesday, and we have many young men and coaches from Jonesboro High School in the building. So let's go to the podium. Number one, the head honcho, the man that calls the shots, one and only Coach the Timothy Floyd in the building. Sir, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having us.
And I think right next to him, the social media man behind the scenes, the guy that makes sure that Jonesboro pops everywhere you look. They call him Coach Sir. He's in the building as well.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up there, sir? And I think you have a couple of young guns with you. I think right down the bottom there, one of your linemen, Brennan Garner's in the building.
Hey, how you doing?
And another lineman, Mr. Preston Stanley, is also in the building.
What's going on?
Tree, this is what Coach told me when I texted him over. He was making sure that everybody was here. He says, "Hey, the old linemen are very excited about coming on." So we know how this works. If you don't have the old line, as we saw unfortunately on Sunday, you will not be able to make things happen.
Gotta have the old linemen.
Yeah,
yes, that's indeed. All right, well, let's get right to the nitty-gritty. First of all, congratulations, Coach. A big win against a team right down the road in South Fulton, Banneker. I think the final score was 30. Well, you tell me. What's the final score?
It was 35 or 34-12.
34-12. Okay.
Right.
What was the key for you guys to make that big win? You know, because Banneker traditionally has a pretty good team, and you guys were on the road. Matter of fact, it was so tight that when we tried to get media credentials, I said, no, you gotta hit us up 2-3 days before. We can't do it. I said, oh, okay. It's like that. But anyway, what was the key for you guys pulling off that victory on the road at a tough Banneker location in South Fulton?
I'll say it started with the O-line. We were able to get the running game going, and, you know, that kind of opened up a lot of other things on the offensive side. Defensively, you know, the guys did a great job of getting after it. And I think just the all-around performance, the effort was a lot better. The energy was a lot better. We were a lot more disciplined. And, you know, it kind of showed on the scoreboard for us.
I think I got two more members of the crew here. I think I got Coach Jeff. I'm going to get him in here. Coach Jeff, you there, sir? There he is.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
And we're to get young Mr. Christian Kimbrough. He's in the building as well. Are you there?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I went to the Jonesboro Media Day. And, you know, back when I was, I don't say that much younger, but they used to have a commercial called Where's the Beef? Well, I'll tell you right now, if you look up and down that Jonesboro line, we got some beef right there. Coach Sir, that's kind of your backyard, you and Coach Jeff. First of all, how does it make you feel to hear Coach talk about the fact that your boys stepped up big and were key to the victory and Banneker? And then what did you tell the guys before the game after watching film on Banneker?
So
Here he is.
You know, it feels good. You know, we always got to keep our work in, though. You know, we never stop working. Me and Coach Jeff, we work these boys hard. Want to be the harder working group. So, you know, we thank Coach Floyd for the applaud, but we got to keep working. Got to keep grinding.
Wait, look, Coach, you're getting some love right off the rip. There you go, right there. Love Miss Donna Carmichael saying, Coach Sir, give you this shout out. Always good when family shouts you out right there. Well, Coach Jeff, first of all, introduce yourself to everybody. I think it might be the first time you've joined us. Tell us what positions you coach and what it meant for you to get that win over Banneker.
Yes, this is my first time joining you guys. The win meant a lot, but I do coach the offensive line here at Jonesboro High School. But the win did mean a lot, especially coming from Coach Floyd with the kudos with me actually playing for him, graduating in 2000, playing on the 2015-16 team. It means a lot being a former player, now being being a former player, now being a current coach. It means a lot because he's entrusting me in guiding these young men, and I tell our group every day we have to be the hardest working group because we don't do the normal things that everybody else does.
The returner will be spotted down.
No doubt. Tree, any questions for this tremendous group of young men and coaches?
I would like to hear from the young men. So tell me what's your favorite part about being an O lineman, and then what do you all use for motivation?
Christian, we go to you first.
Oh, okay. Kristen.
Um, what motivates me to be an O lineman is really my coaches. They push me, and they're mentors. They push me to be a better man on and off the field. So it's like they're like a second father to me. What also motivates me to push myself and be a better offensive lineman is my family. Um, I went through hard struggles in the past, so I just try to push myself to be the very best that I can, so that I can show my family that I'm stronger than I look, and I can push through all the hard times, even if I have nobody back there to push me.
I love that.
Powerful. Brendan, how about you, sir?
Back to what he said. We go out there every day, work, and the coaches they really believe in us and push us to be the best men we can be. So just like he said, my family wants the best for me in football, and that's just like that's the best motivation I have. And yeah, that's really all I have.
I like it. Preston.
Personally, I feel like my brothers beside me on and off the field. In school, they steady pushing me. On the field, they push me as well. Like I just feel like them are the main people that push me to be a better O lineman in my life. Like my parents too, but not as much as my brothers.
Oh, that family.
Yeah, the brotherhood. We like to hear it. Well, let's go here to we got a question from social media. Our man Todd there. Tree, can you read that for us?
Todd has said, question to Coach Floyd. Saban calls the media praise rat poison. How do you block out all of the noise and not get too confident?
Well, it's because it's always work to do. I like to use a story. The doctor told me I did a good job of losing weight. He said, Coach Floyd, Mr. Floyd, you did a good job losing weight, but you still have some more work to do. And it's always work to do because we always striving for something. And that I think that helps us, keep things in order. And if someone, kind of stray away from that, I will gladly pull out my proverbial pen and stick it in the proverbial head.
All righty then. Okay.
I hope
We
I
got
used
the
the right word saying proverbial. SAT
we
word.
Amen. We got more comments from social media. Tree, what do we got?
Oh, somebody said, let's go, Brandon. That's from Faz Friends.
Getting the shout out. Uh-oh. Getting the shout out. Well, listen, man, it's you guys talked about kind of being like a family and how you guys kind of bond together. I'm gonna ask coaches and then I guess you guys as well. I know a lot of the schools have players do things kind of off the field. Is there anything that you guys kind of say, hey, look, you know what, we do this, whether it be, feeding the homeless, whether it be mentoring the other kids. What is it that you kind of do off the field that you guys kind of like in terms of trying to give back?
I'll start with a few quick things and then I pass it on to them.
Yep.
Every Thanksgiving we get a chance to go to the church and pass out Thanksgiving baskets and do some things to feed the homeless. And we also get a chance to go to the elementary schools and do some reading and try to serve in our community.
Now let's go around to the players there. Let's go. Charles, you first. I mean, Christian, you first.
It's like Coach Floyd said. We read to the elementary school to the elementary schoolers. We everything's given. We decide to give out meals to the homeless, to whoever needs it, and it's just like even outside of that, I try to just like whenever I see somebody that needs help, I'll probably give them a couple, whatever I got in my pocket, a couple dollars, help them go eat, get them a little meal, something. Just because I know that it can be a hard time. Everybody's gonna go through struggles in life, and I pray that if I'm end up going through the same thing, that somebody would end up doing the same thing for me.
It's wonderful. Preston, how about you?
Karma is real, so I love that.
That's right.
For me, it's like I like doing the community service because for me it helps me. Like we did not last year, the year before that, we did the Harry Douglas Foundation, and they helped my family when I was younger. So like I felt like I had to give back and just help out there.
I love that. Paying it forward. Blessed to be a blessing to others.
Brendan, how about you?
I like giving back at church. Whenever I go, I like talking and mentoring young children there. I haven't been to any of the things we do at school because this is my first year, but I look forward to going out. And when we do go out and give back in the community, I do look forward to that.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Teach
Well, hang on a second. We got
church.
Chill.
Want me to read that?
Please.
Oh, Tanya Gardner says, "That's my twin. Love you, Brennan. So proud of you and the guys."
That's what I'm talking about, man. Listen, it's good. It really is good to show love, man. And it's always, I'm the oldest, and we have. I got a sister on my dad's side, and sister on my on mom's side. Speaking of, I want to give a big shout out to her. She had an incident over the weekend, and she's recovering. So, sis, if you're watching this, I love you. Appreciate you, and I know the Lord's going to get you back going full strength. But yeah, man, it's great to have family, behind you, and like you guys all mentioned, beyond having a physical family, you guys all bond together as a family, man, which I think is great. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think,
teamwork does.
Starting back with Coach Jeff class, we've always kind of been tight, but starting back with Coach Jeff class, that's when we realized we started calling it LOB, which is Love Our Brothers, and I think it just kind of the guys have done a great job passing it on, teaching the class below them, and it's still going strong today. It truly is a family, and just like the good times and hard times family have, we're there for each other through it all.
Like I said, man, I'm just excited to see it and proud that we're able to let people know about it. Again, if this is your first time watching, it's Real Talk Sports Show, and this is our high school spotlight. You guys saw Ola from McDonough on a little bit earlier, and now, of course, this is Jonesboro Tuesday. We have the Jonesboro High School Football Cardinals. I think we got more input from social media. Tree, can you read that one?
Love y'all, boys, and heart emoji.
Yeah, man, it's just like I said, really great stuff. And I always ask people, if you're in the community, I know a lot of people here watch the broadcast from Clayton County, man, just come out. And Coach, do you have any particular needs? I know a lot of time with public schools, there's the money obviously being spent, but they need more. Anything that you would want people who are listening to kind of maybe contribute, whether it be cash donations, whether it be water, food, anything you guys need?
First, I would say the prayers. We need prayers, and most definitely food, because they can really eat, and they eat a lot, especially this group, including their coaches. So they eat a lot. So helping out with pregame meals, cash donations, water, Powerade, granola bars, all of that stuff is always helpful.
Yeah, guys, people are listening. I know there's a lot of people ask me from time to time, hey, what can we do? There it is, guys. You can help give back. Well, we got social media is really popping right now here. Let's go here. We just have Kenneth. Let's see what we got on here now. Tree, who's that? Oh, they hate
Nick.
Nick.
Said, good job, Brennan and the team. Okay.
Another shout out there.
Ansley Aaliyah said, good job, Brennan and guys. Okay, I mean,
Man,
Brennan,
Brennan,
you popular.
must be the curly hair.
You
Could be.
popular. They
Well, I would tell you something, guys. Miss Aaliyah is a faithful watcher of the broadcast. I see that name pop up when I'm doing the live broadcast. So a big shout out to her. Let's see who else we got here.
Joshton Chansey. Hope I didn't say that wrong. He
Right.
said, hey, Coach Floyd, Coach Jeff, Coach Carmichael, and Brennan, Kimbrough, and Preston.
One of our ninth grade
Everybody show.
linemen. One of our ninth grade O linemen.
See, he's already looking for that next man up. He's already ready.
Hold on, he coming in. They hate Nick said, great job, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody that tunes in and supports us. Like I said, we really, this broadcast has grown. As I think I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and many of it's from Jonesboro fans. We have now moved past the 1,000 followers. We're up around 1041 or 1042, I think we are now. And we're looking for that next big goal, getting 1,500 followers on, specifically on YouTube. We have more on the other sports, on our other social media, but we really want to get to that 1,500 or better on YouTube. All right. We still got social media buzzing. We already did that. They hate Nick. And there we go.
Quinardis Favors. Thank you. He said, let's go, Burrow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, everybody, like I said, same thing. When you watch it on Friday night, they don't even get the whole thing out. Jonesboro is like, let's go, Burrow. That's it. Everybody knows what's going on. Well, now, who do you guys play next, Coach?
Next week, we start region play with the very good, well-coached Harris County team. That'll be our first region game, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, is that one going to be a home game, or you guys on the road again?
That'll be a home game. Finally back at Terra Stadium.
Okay. All right. So we should have a good one on our hands. Again, guys, remember you can check it out. Go to our website, realtalksports.net. We do have the county does post the link on Twitter, or I guess it's called X now. X. I'm sorry. They do post on there. So check us out. We're on YouTube. We broadcast live on Facebook. We also on the Phoenix Entertainment channel on Roku. So if you want to watch us on the big screen, YouTube tells us that quite a few of you watch us there. We are going to continue to put it on the big screen as well. All right, guys, we're getting ready to wrap it up here. Of course, we don't want to have you guys leave until people find out more about you. I think I have the social media handles right. Do I have it right this time?
Yes, sir. You got it right.
Praise the Lord. Amen.
You got it right.
Look, I even Twitter bird. She gone. Am I good on X?
Yeah.
JHS
right.
Cardinal FB. All right. Yeah, because no more Twitter. I had to get rid of the bird. They say he gone. So it's X marks the spot. All right, everybody, again, you can follow them on social media at JHS Cardinal Football. That's on Instagram or IG. And if you want to follow them on X, real simple, at JHS Cardinal FB. So there it is right there, guys. Take a screenshot, get it down, follow these guys. Also, there are some great camera and video people that we're going to bring on as the season goes on that do a great job of doing the highlights for Jonesboro. So, again, got some great young men and young women coming up behind us, and they're about to do the takeover. Big stuff going on at Jonesboro. Well, guys, listen, we appreciate you coming on. We want to say, as we always do, God bless you. As Queen always mentioned, we're praying that you guys have continued success and no injuries, if possible, on the field.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next time. There it is, guys. One more time. JHS Cardinal Football on IG and JHS Cardinal FB on X. And speaking of X, we got to X ourselves out for a second because we got to do some more commercials. All right, we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Stay tuned. Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on realtalksports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on realtalksports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net. Just want to say congratulations on getting your new F-350 from us here at Allen Vigil Ford. Thank you for your business.
Thank you.
Brian, I just want to say congratulations, man. Thanks for coming down from Tennessee to get your new truck from us.
Thank you.
God bless and have a safe. Congratulations. What do you think? Is it worth the wait, buddy?
I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with it.
Listen, man, thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Ron. Thanks, guys. So if you, in fact, need a vehicle for yourself or for your family, I'll be more than happy to accommodate you. You can hit me up. I'll pop it up here on social media really quickly. You can call me or text me at 678-410-9833, or you, in fact, can send me an email to jsimmons@realtalksports.net. There it is right there up on the screen. You can hit me up, and I'd love to take care of you, your family, or your business. That's really my specialty. I do a lot of B2B sales, and we help people get their vehicles for their business. I don't care if you're just saying, hey, I'm just starting up. No worries. Come on down, and we will take care of you. Again, 678-410-9833. And like I said, again, we'll take care of you. And listen, even if your credit's like mine, little we have a guy that specializes in helping people get through their credit challenges. So again, hit me up, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or just text me, 678-410-9833. Well, I do know this. I do know that Tree is always normally a happy and smiling woman. But she got some extra juice today because I'll let her say it. What are your lines right now, Tree?
1-0.
The Lions have jumped out of the box. Big win, some spectacular play. They had to go the distance. It was once again a barn burner. As I don't know what it is when they play the Rams, maybe because they had that big trade and swapping quarterbacks, but that was a phenomenal game. But your Detroit Lions pulled it out.
We did. And I am so excited. Like I keep telling everybody, New Orleans, here we come.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, let's take a look here at some of the stats. Your guys, like I said, they balled out, and there were some big plays, spectacular plays. Let's take a look at it here as I go on to the website. Okay, your man Jared Goff, 16 of 28, 217, one touchdown, one pick. But the key to the game was your running attack. Y'all banged away at will at the L.A. Rams. The big man was David Montgomery, 17 carries, 91 yards. And your guy, the defensive players were talking about how amped they were as late in the game. He just was toting that rock and making things happen for you guys. Jahmyr Gibbs, a guy that played right down here at Georgia Tech and later transferred to Alabama, 11 carries for 40 yards. Jameson Williams, he came off the bench. He had one carry, but it was for 13 yards. Khalif Raymond, he had a carry, 12 yards. And Jared Goff himself scooted out to make sure that he was not sacked, and he also picked up 7 yards. Overall, the Lions rushed for 163 yards on the ground.
Yes.
Who knew that the Lions could roar like that?
We all did. Hello. Everybody picked the Lions to win.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess what it is that just to see them really pound away on the ground, they did such a great job, 163 yards on the ground. And really, that was really the key, especially late in that game, because oftentimes, Tree, that first game of the season, you don't play preseason anymore. Your sea legs might not be under you, but David Montgomery said, well, good news, they're under me. And he pounded away. And, yeah, I mean, say it again.
No, I was saying, yeah, I agree. And that's good because we know that this is week 1 and our team is just going to continue to get better and get more in shape and more. So for us to be able to pull off that win, because it got tight towards the end of the game and we pushed through, and that's what I'm really excited about, was that push through part, and we got the win, which we should have. One thing that I think my Lions need to work on, I don't like sometimes how when we're up by a lot, I feel like we don't always finish. So I'm happy that we finished this game. We did not get comfortable with the lead and just not start playing again. So I'm very excited that we pulled through. Was it always the prettiest? No, but we got the W, and that's all that matters. And we'll continue to get better each week, just like Coach Campbell said. He said, hey, every week we're going to get better, which we will.
No, yeah, like you said, you guys played a great game, especially late. And as always, when you guys play against the Rams, which, just a couple of years ago, won the Super Bowl themselves. It's always a struggle. And interestingly enough, they actually statistically were a little bit better. Stafford, being Stafford, doing Stafford things. Great game for him. 34-49, 317 yards. But more importantly, the Lions defense did not let him put a lot of scores up. Just like Jared Goff, matched the same thing, only one touchdown pass. And you guys picked him off as well. And Cooper Kupp had a huge game, 14 receptions, 110 yards. But again, only that one lone touchdown. So you guys basically bowled up when you could. And Puka, I always pronounce his name right, Puka Nacua, the guy who took over for Cooper Kupp last year, you guys bottled him up, only 4 receptions for 35 yards. So although Stafford had some huge stats, and even though technically the Rams held the ball for more time than you guys, they almost had it for 35 minutes. Bottom line is that when it absolutely came down to it, the Lions did what they had to do to pull out the victory. So big shout out to you and your Detroit Lions.
Thank you. One pride.
Yeah, listen, I mean, like you say again, they just did a great job of doing what they had to do, especially again in the overtime, because the Rams, like you mentioned, Rams did come back to tie the game in the fourth quarter. But in that overtime, it was pound away, and then finally the big play for the touchdown to win the ball game. So, yeah, man, look, like you said, everybody's predicted the Lions to be one of the top teams in the NFL, a team that is one of the odds-on favorite to go to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, we expect them to do well.
Did you know that out of every team in the NFL that we are the top pick to go to the Super Bowl this year, even over the Kansas City Chiefs? Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised because, again, the team is well-balanced. They have a defense that is anchored by Aiden Hutchinson. And like I said, again, he was going absolutely bananas on the sidelines as Montgomery was pounding the ball away to help them get that victory. And the team, it just looks like they are well coached. You know, Coach Campbell, everybody kind of mocked him. They said he's kind of over the top with his energy and emotion, but the guy's a former player. He's a big guy, and it's not a shtick. I mean, he is a passionate guy. And the Lions they play with passion. So
that part.
Yeah,
we play with grit.
Sky's the limit. Yep. Let's go around the rest of the NFL and look at some other scores that went down in the league. And let's see if I can get this here. There we go. Yeah. So last night, Jets and the Lions got me stuck in the Lions. Jets and the 49ers square off. And the 49ers, another team that is picked to do some damage in the NFC, shut down the Jets 32-19. The return of Aaron Rodgers. And much like what we saw here in Atlanta, when the guy's coming back after injury and not playing a whole year, he looked a little rusty. So Aaron Rodgers, 13 of 21, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Certainly a non-Aaron Rodgers type game. Breece Hall, who kind of came into his own last year for the Jets, 49ers kind of kept him in check, 16 carries for 54 yards. Allen Lazard, a guy that Rodgers really lobbied for. You can see why. He scored both of the touchdowns for the Jets. He had 6 receptions and 69 yards from them. Meanwhile, the Frisco, Brock Purdy, guy continues to put up numbers that's going to make him probably one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league when his time is due. 19 of 29, 231 yards, no touchdowns and no picks. But the guy that was the key to the game, have you heard of this man? Jordan Mason. Who is that? 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. Jordan Mason. Who's Christian McCaffrey? Why do we need him? Georgia Tech fans know Jordan Mason. He was a guy that balled out here at Georgia Tech, but I don't think anybody saw that he would be the kind of guy to rush for 150 yards in the NFL. So as much as we don't like Shanahan here in Atlanta, he seems to be able to pull guys out of the hat and make them play like they're all pros. So again, San Francisco grabs the win, which they needed to because the Lions are 1-0. They're 1-0 as well. Cowboys beat the brakes off the Browns 33-17. A lot of people thinking that the Browns should end the Deshaun Watson experiment. Watson, 24 of 45, only 169 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and unfortunately, another lawsuit launched against him last week as well. Jerome Ford trying to take the ball in the absence of Nick Chubb, bottled up by the Cowboys defense, 12 carries, only 44 yards. Meanwhile, the highest paid player in the NFL, Dak Prescott. Well,
I want to talk about Deshaun.
Yeah.
before you go to
We're gonna
Dak.
get back. We're gonna get back to him in 1 second. Let me just kind of finish these stats up here for the Cowboys, and we can talk about the story that seems to never end. Dak Prescott, like I said, newly highest paid player in the NFL, 19 of 32, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott back wearing the star, 10 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. And CeeDee Lamb, another guy who got broke off, 5 receptions and 61 yards. But like I said again, it was a dominant performance by the Cowboys defense, keeping the Browns under wraps the whole game. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, it seems like the beat goes on in a negative way. Deshaun Watson, again, being sued by another woman who claims, and again, this is all accusation, that he misconducted himself with her. But let's go to the Queen. What are your thoughts about this, or just in general about Deshaun Watson?
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was just going to
Oh,
say
okay.
that a lot of people don't realize that Deshaun Watson's father passed away last week, and
Wow.
then one of his close friends and teammates passed away 2 days before the game. So people need to give him grace because the fact that he was even out on the field playing was tough, but he wanted to show up for the team. And so people need to realize that yeah, he may not have had the best game, but a lot of times if people don't understand, like they have lives too, and he's still out there playing through that. So I think that he should be extended some grace. Now, if he continues to play bad throughout the season, that's different. But to lose a father and a friend and former teammate that you were close with within a week, that's tough to deal with.
Well, as always, we appreciate the Queen for getting us updated and showing us the human side of it because, to be very candid, none of that, I'm going to say none of that was really talked about in the media at all.
Right,
At
exactly.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no mention of that. In all the obviously scurrilous headlines, there was no mention of any of that at all. So, again, obviously, our heart goes out to him. I know it's like to lose a parent, lost mine about 15, 16 years ago. And I don't care how old you are, your parents, I don't care if you're like with me. My mom died when I was 49. It does not matter. That's a big piece of your heart. And to have a friend die in that same time period as well, yeah, definitely a lot of weight on a young man's shoulders. And kudos to him for going out to play. Hopefully and prayerfully, on the other side of the coin, he also can get these legal troubles finally wrapped up. We thought they were kind of put to bed, but unfortunately, they popped back up again. And some of this, I mean, look, let's be honest. I mean, some of this stuff. First of all, it's accusations. So we really don't know what's what. We don't, because none of us were there. None of us are looking at the same evidence. And we do know, and this is not to pick a side either way, but we do know that that things have happened where people have either exaggerated or not been totally forthcoming with the claims in order to make money. Because it was also, right? Because it was said that there were attempts to settle out of court, but evidently whatever those amounts were not satisfactory. And so now here we are, the lawsuit. So yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, it's just been an unrelenting barrage. And on top of that, like you mentioned, the death of his dad, a family friend, the guy was basically injured to the point where he could not play an entire year. So this guy's been going through a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff.
He has, and I want to see him succeed. He's gone through a
Yeah.
lot, and I'm rooting for him because I'm hoping that, and I'm not saying that he's guilty for anything, but I still think that this actions of having that many different people massaging him and stuff, it's like, come on, you have to also use your head when you're a professional athlete or even not a professional athlete. We all have to just think about things and how they may look. So there's things that are innocent, but I don't do them just because it may look bad. So I'm rooting for him and I want to see him succeed. I want to see him push past this so that he can teach other people and help other people and mentor other people. And I feel that he will use this to bless other people and just be a blessing. I want to see him do a lot in the community and just giving back. So that's what I think will happen from all of this. But yeah, I'm rooting for him. And I was just really sad to learn of the passing of his family and his friend who was also like family, but not an actual family member.
Like I said, no doubt, tough stuff. And I always tell people all the time. I said, I used to have a friend always ask me, "Why do you say that?" I said, "All I can say is, there for the grace of God go I," because everybody can say, "Oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do the other thing." You really don't know what will happen until you're in the middle of it. Yeah, I know. If someone chronicled all the stuff I did, especially in years before, I don't know if y'all would be so happy to see the preacher on the air. I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, I know from what the Lord has delivered me from, the many sins He forgave me. So if He done it for me, He's done it for thousands of other people, millions of other people across the timeline. Why can't it be the same way for Deshaun Watson? So that's really all of our hope, that that he gets it straightened out and that he moves on from this, and that this, as scurrilous and scandalous it may be, that when it's all said and done, it turns out to be something that turns out to be a blessing and not a curse. So that's what we're really looking for Deshaun Watson. Anybody's going through drama, because we saw how
We all
quickly
need
things can.
grace.
Right. Because think about this, and it's so quickly how things can go from 0 to 100. Of course, a lot of people know, and it's been buzzing on social media. We saw a player going to a game, whether he was speeding or not, kind of irrelevant. But next thing you know, he found himself on the ground, hands behind his back, in a situation where it could have went to the left at any point in time. So just, we all need the prayers. We all need the grace of God operating in our lives. So that's all I can really tell you guys. And like I said, hopefully, again, everything will work out for Deshaun Watson and his family members. Let's go back to social media here. Take a peek here. What do we got on social media? I can't read it. That's
Todd
Todd.
said Watson is a bad person. Oh, you know
All
what? I
right, Todd.
forgot he did say that he heard some bad things about him.
Yeah, 'cause I think Todd is from that area, Gainesville, so I guess he knows a little bit more. Todd has always got the inside stuff of what's going on there. So, I don't know. Well, he's a bad guy. You don't have to be a bad guy forever. That's all I can tell you. All right, guys, we're going to do this. We are going to take a tiny little break, and then we're going to shift to the rest of the NFL. And for those of you who are fans, the fiasco that we saw on Sunday, right in our backyard. You want to talk about it? I don't blame you. Just keep it locked right here. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Even Tree said, I don't even want to put my face on the screen with the Falcons. See that? All right, we'll be back with more in just a moment. Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
This is Patrick Willis, and this is Real Talk Sports.
Yes, it is Real Talk Sports Show, and we are going to do what we always do. We're going to end the broadcast with some heartbreak down the road. Yeah, some heartbreak down the road, but let's get right to it. This gentleman right here is the number one insider for Falcons football here in Atlanta. He is the embedded beat writer for AJC Sports. He's an award-winning sports writer, and he is Esquire Parks and Lunch. The guy that rocks the bow tie and a fedora better than any man I know. The one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is back in the building. D. Led, what's going on, sir?
Hey, not too much, Reverend and Miss Tree. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing great, sir.
I'm doing great. I'm doing a lot better than Kirk Cousins and Raheem Morris.
Well, let's zoom in on that hat, D-Led. What we got there? What's that A for? What we got?
Alpha Chapter, Omega Psi
I already knew.
Incorporated. Yep. Howard University. Yes, man.
Okay. The Alpha Chapter.
That's right. Started it all.
Yes.
I know you've been a man on the move. Speaking of Howard, I think weren't they playing up in Yankee Stadium? Was it last weekend or this weekend?
Oh no, that's this weekend, and I'm
This
the
weekend.
honorary. Yeah, I'm the honorary captain.
What? Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Coach Scott is gonna let me be the honorary captain. I don't know if I get to run out the tunnel with him, but I think I get to do the coin flip with him. But we'll find out Friday night at the alumni party at the hotel there.
Well, man, D-Led, I gotta tell you, man, you got to be excited. All these things kind of happening, like it's almost like rapid fire. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
The 2 Hall of Fames. You're now being able to run out with your boys, Yankee Stadium. I know you've been there before, but just that whole situation. I mean, how does it make you feel, man, to kind of see all this stuff? You know, it's like people tell me, hey, the chicken has sprung, but to be able to see all this, I'd love to see it be in good health and to get these honors.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, it made me go to the gym today and get my 45 minutes in the pool. It's like even fun going to work out now. So,
oh, man.
doing that. And one of my buddies was in town. He's in town for some state official government business. And he's like, hey, I'm in town. I was like, hey, the guys are coming over Monday night. So he pops up, Uber's over. You know, best friend just falls through for the Monday night game. Yeah, everything's been going pretty good here the last month.
Like I said, man, it's got to be very exciting to see that. But a little disappointing. We all kind of thought, I think maybe I drank too much Kool-Aid or put too much sugar in it. I'm not sure, but I was expecting something different on Sunday. From your look, bird's eye, you were there. Just maybe 3 things that you felt went wrong and really kind of sent a potential win to a loss.
Well, I've been talking about the fact that they didn't practice and didn't play any live football, and they were going to try to turn on the switch on Sunday, September 8th, and they turned it on, but it flickered on and off, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You know, they had a good opening drive, had to set up for a field goal. Then, they had a good drive there right before the half, 9-play, 90-yard drive. But that was it for the offense. Defense, held them to 6 long field goals, but they got pushed around. I got video, coach's film sent to me of, Grady getting finished to the ground and then starting to fight with a guy. The defense just probably got tired. Yeah, it wasn't. It was about what you expect when the team elects to not play in the exhibition season. The teams that played, they came out and kicked A. Detroit did. Saw San Francisco last night. The Steelers still practice tackling to the ground. They were tougher than the Falcons on Sunday. And that's just, I don't know how you don't practice football and think when the games get live, you can just turn on the switch. They got to push these guys. You can't tell me that Caleb McGarry didn't need some practice. But that guy was running around him untouched. So Kirk Cousins didn't want to put his foot in the ground. He could have got over that in the exhibition game. So, yeah, I went on and on about that. But now they got to put it on together and try to go play some good teams here. Try not to get the doors blown off against the Eagles and the Chiefs and the Saints. And, you don't want to be starting 0-4. So, but, yeah, if you can get through this patch, I would have been practicing because I'm like, hey, the heat is at the beginning. So if I can meet the heat and then build on it and, when a schedule gets a little bit easier, that would have been my approach. But Coach Raheem's been in the league a long time. I took another approach, and we'll see how it works out now.
And 3 years in a row, we've heard the same thing about the no preseason. It seems like we've gotten the same results every single time. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
Somebody in the building is doing this because, John, I went back and looked at all my old football teams I coached, and I can't remember us turning down one scrimmage. I can't remember us skipping any exhibition game. And I don't know any coach. I got like 56 coach somebody's in my phone that would, turn down some practice, that'll turn it down in the name of safety. So it's got to be the medical staff, the player performance staff, some analytics, or the owner doesn't want people to get hurt. But no football coach would never do this. And no football coach would never elect to not get ready to play. So, this is coming from a non-football person, place, or thing. They're worried about the optics and not worried about the football is what I keep getting texts about on my phone.
Yeah, like you said, it's a bad look. I mean, and I guess the thing is I don't understand is it hasn't worked now for the last 4 years. So I'm just not sure. All right, anyway, let's go to social media. Tree, I think Todd is all sideways. Let's go ahead and get him up here.
I said, D-Led, Mr. Morris said today he don't believe Kurt hurt. What is going on?
Well, Kurt's recovering. Well, if he's not hurt, it's semantics. He's coming back from a ruptured Achilles in his right foot. So you can say he's not hurt and he's but it's clearly, Todd's seen the video out there. He's clearly not putting any weight on that foot when he's throwing the ball. He's got a different stance. He's parallel, whereas in the past he's got one foot up and one foot back. Coach has got to say he can't say that he's hurt because he doesn't have him on the injury report. So it's semantics. Is he 100%? No, because he won't even put his foot in the ground. So is he ready to play? Yeah, they can play. He did a good. He was. It was the 7th lowest passer amount of yards in the league. So he's down there with rookies. I mean, I made a list today. The only people that threw for fewer yards were Carolina, Chicago, Cleveland, Denver, New England, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. All those teams, what they have in common is that they got a rookie or a second-year quarterback. Except for New England, they got Jacoby Brissett, who's a long-time backup. So he's down there with the kids, or he was last week. And so, but you saw the drive before the half there, and that drive he was 7-7 for 84 yards on that drive. 9-play, 90-yard touchdown drive. We found Pitts in the end zone. So Raheem said that's how it's supposed to look. So at least you got that. To move forward. They ran the ball great coming out. Got to sustain it. They're not in game football shape because they didn't play any games. So that'll get better over the first 4 games. But you got to take the good and throw. Hopefully they can throw out the bad. Throwing the ball into each other, blocking the defensive end. What was the other big one? Oh, Kyle Pitts lined up in the wrong spot when he tried to fix it. Those are little league mistakes. Stuff you should have been fixing in the exhibition season, but you chose not to play.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Todd says, seems like we were sold a bill of goods and now it's damaged goods. No push off on that leg, no mobility.
Well, no, we didn't. They knew he was hurt when they paid him. They knew it. I'm sure, and they cheated to get him. So they knew what they were getting. I'm sure part of their cheating was that they had the doctors check out the foot. So yeah, it's gonna get better. They said 8 to 10 months, 10 to 12. He having in November, so he's like 2 months early here. He's on the early side of it. It'll get better. So it looks like he's gonna try to play half of the season while he's still coming back, recovering. And then maybe halfway at the bye or something, he'll be able to stick that thing in the ground. But you don't want to go 0-4 and then start flailing and it goes sideways. But they weren't sold a bag of gills. They knew the bag of potatoes they were buying, and they cheated to do it. So it's on the Falcons.
Yeah. Fantasy football coach strategies.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
Oh, he said Kirk out here catfishing the Falcons.
Oh, that's my favorite show. I haven't seen O'Neill and them in a while.
Whee!
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking it's gonna get better. I think if you can get more of that drive before the half, then he wouldn't be catfishing them. So, but he wanted to do this in the exhibition season. He didn't want to come out and start. This be his first game. So I'll defend Kirk for when your veteran quarterback says, "Hey, I need to play," I think you should play him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had that very awkward press conference when they asked him about you playing, and his body language was all bad. He was like, "Well, that's like the coach's decision, and that's the coach's decision." But he looked like you said,
Yeah,
"Hey, I
he's
really
like,
want to play," but it was. Lord have
it was
mercy.
like he said, I really didn't have a say in the decision,
Right.
because I
Yeah,
wanted to
that just.
play.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'm just a sucker. I don't know, because this is now about the third year these guys done have me excited. Preacher getting ready to get on the pulpit, talk about the Falcons, and every single year I get disappointment. And last year was even worse because they jumped out 2-0. My man, I thought my button on my shirt was gonna pop. I said, see, and then, oh goodness gracious! All right, let's go back to social media. We already did that one already. Right, here we go.
Todd said they sold the fans a bill of goods, D-Led. He also said before that, he said, "Come on, he's hurt or something. He's not ready to play something." Oh, that's it. Yeah, he said he ain't ready to play.
Well, if they
Laugh
send
out
him out
loud.
there, they send him out there. He's ready to play. So that's on them. You see it if he won't put his weight on that foot yet. So it's a mental hurdle at least, even if he's ready to play. If you want to call him hurt, fine. If you don't, fine. But he's out there, so he's playing. And then the selling the fans a bag of goods. Y'all listen to all this hype. I was trying to tell y'all they haven't played any football. They don't even tackle in practice. They brought in all these new people, and they're gonna send them out there for the first time together, and it's gonna look great. No, you gotta play football. So I don't know. Y'all didn't listen to me. Y'all listened to the marketing people and all them hype videos they were making about practice and all the stats. See, I killed some of the young writers. God bless them, but they're down there taking stats, talking about Kurt was 22 or 24 in practice today. I'm like, he should be 24 or 24. It's practice, and they're not even tackling. I was like, oh, that was a great run by Bijan. I'm like, no, it wasn't. He got hit in the backfield because McGarry couldn't block the guy. O'Grady's in the backfield. So I don't know how you can project, that they were doing good in camp when they're not playing football. So that's it's getting harder and harder to tell. But until I see them play football, I'm like, oh yeah, hey, you can't really tell. My frat brothers, we meet on Wednesdays. We might have a beverage and a nice cigar from allegedly, and they're like, hey, how are they gonna be this year? I was like, it's gonna be interesting. I wouldn't say they were gonna be good. I was like, hey, whatever happens, it's gonna be interesting, because I can't say that hey, they look good when they added all these people, but I don't know how they're gonna play together. I don't even know how they're gonna line up. I knew McGarry couldn't block, so I'm like, hey, they gotta run the ball. So they came out running it. But then once they figured out that hey, they were running out of the pistol and throwing out a shotgun, TJ Watt went off. He knew the plays.
Yeah,
He
really
knew
crazy.
the snap count. That was crazy.
I said,
right.
D-Lad, I played in high school. Can you give me a tryout with Coach Morris? I can sling it, laugh out loud.
Yeah, I sent them my videotape too. I played in high school. I was a quarterback growing up. My quarterback Ron Sally played he went to Duke and played for Steve Spurrier. I was his backup. And then I moved to Cleveland and got moved to defensive back. And I can sling it too, Todd. I sent him my tape already. I sent my tape to Terry already, but he ain't called me back yet.
Fantasy Football Strategy said, on the bright side, the Falcons defense didn't allow a touchdown.
Yeah, that was true, but they did. They weren't very good on third down, 8-17. That was pointed out to me, and the fact that they got pushed around late. There were clean blocks, there were clean holes for guys to make cuts and so forth. They got tired. The Steelers think they won on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. and that's not a good thing because that's what everybody's gonna try to do to you now. You give up 163 yards rushing. They're not even gonna try to pass. So some of that was quarterback runs by Justin Fields, but still, that's a big number. Matt Judon said after the game, "Hey, we can't give up more than 100 yards. We just can't have that."
Yeah, unfortunately, D-Led, some of the things that were kind of, I guess, glossed over due to stats raised their ugly head again. So I heard a lot of people talk about the offensive line, about being so great. But what I did mention even on here is that the offensive line was a good running offensive line. They did run the ball very well, but there were several times where even a mobile Desmond Ridder dude, he was running for his life. So, and we know, and here's the thing I don't understand. All these coaches come in, they always say the same thing. They say, okay, we want to put the players in the best position to win. We want to maximize their skill sets. Well, I'm thinking, okay, well, why would you run a lot of passing, and not have any help for McGarry, who we know is not a good pass blocker? The other question I have is, okay, once again, I hear the same thing I heard last year. Kyle Pitts, quote unquote, missing blocks. I'm thinking, didn't you get Charlie Warner for that? I mean, I thought Charlie Warner was supposed to be the guy with the chip guy. Meanwhile, I'm hearing that I see Pitts lined up trying to get a chip on one of the best defensive players in the league. And I'm thinking, you've been saying this guy's a generational talent catching the ball, and you have him blocking. I'm just trying to get an understanding of the disconnect. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I was writing down as you were speaking, Charlie Warner. And as soon as they signed him, I was like, "Oh, good, they got somebody to help McGarry." Because it's a run blocking line. They were in the top 10 in rush in the last 2 years, but giving up, covered up the sacks. They were on their way to record last couple years. Giving up sacks, pressures, and hurries. Poor Mariota was running for his life. You remember that game in Charlotte where he did the stop, drop, and roll play?
Right.
And then Ridder in the Carolina last year, that killed him when he's running outside the pocket and tries to throw it back across the field and cost him the game. But the offensive line was considered the strength of the team. But they did sign Brandon Parker today, who started former third-round pick of the Raiders from North Carolina A&T, 6'8", 320, has started 33 games, and he has played right tackle. So I think they sent the message loud and clear to McGarry that, hey, you better pick it up here.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's go back to social media again.
Fantasy Football Ghost Strategy says, from a fantasy standpoint, bench all Falcons players this week versus the Eagles.
Dang.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's football. I don't do fantasy football. It looked like Bijan had 111 yards. Pitts had a touchdown. Drake London only had 2 catches. So, it should get better for you fantasy people, but who knows?
Speaking of Drake London, it's another thing I'm trying to understand how Drake London and Charlie Warner had the same amount of catches and targets. Targets. I'm trying to just again wrap my ears around what I'm heard. I heard Kyle Pitts missing blocks on TJ Watts, and I'm looking at the stats after the game, and I see Charlie Warner and Drake London with the same amount of targets. So is it me? I mean, and of course, people warn me and say, hey, man, your offensive coordinator has never called a game. Matter of fact, I think that was your quote right here on this show. You say, hey, Jonathan, now, preacher, said, minister, I just tell you, Rev, this guy has not called an NFL game in his life. And I will tell you, D, that's what it looked like on Sunday.
Yeah. I wrote down the target 2 today because I'm doing a story on the passing attack, kind of what went wrong. That's why I knew they were 7th, tied for 25th in the league. You got to be in the top 16, especially with a veteran quarterback. But Ray McLeod, 7 targets. Bijan, 5. Pitts and Drake and Mooney, all 3 each, and Charlie Warner, 2. So, that's why I thought Ray McCall was brought in here to to be the #1 target guy, the slot receiver. So we'll
And
see
dude,
how it goes.
listen, had not been
But
for
Joey
him,
Porter Jr. might have did a good job on London. But I think he's, you at least throw it over there and let him make some plays.
look, had not been for Ray, the stats have been worse because he made that unbelievable catch that was really interception. So I mean, hi, Lord help me, please.
Can we just talk about how they just let Watt do what he wanted to do? So frustrating.
Yeah, they had, they were running away from him. That's how they got down the field in that first drive. Then they decided to run to his side.
Right.
And Gary whiffs, he gets a 3-yard loss. Now you're off schedule, and then you got to settle for a 23-yard field goal because you couldn't overcome that bad play. But that's what Matt Ryan was good at. We saw it last night in the 49ers game. Lil Mason from Georgia Tech scores a touchdown. They called a penalty. The next play, they called another penalty. 4 plays later, Debo's still going into the end zone to get that touchdown back. So, the good teams overcome little penalties and hiccups because they're better. They play harder. And so, the Falcons got to get a little bit tougher here and dig in when, they have a minor, 3-yard loss.
Free, what's Todd saying? I think it's some more shade.
That is so funny. Todd said, I heard AJ is at the Grady burn unit. He got burned so much.
Yeah, his job was to keep Pickens under control. Right before the half, he let him get loose for 41. He had another one that was called back. That was a parent touchdown. They had one receiver. They had one dude. They wasn't throwing to Calvin Austin. I don't even know who the other guy is. Freiermuth is pretty good tight end. But they had one guy. So you got to check that guy. Now, Philly on Monday night, they got 2 guys, Devontae and A.J. Brown. So you got A.J. Terrell on Brown, and you got Michael Hughes on Devontae Smith. So what you gonna do on Monday night? I think you're gonna play zone.
A lot of
then
zone.
you got Saquon. So he had 3 touchdowns. So what's the plan gonna be for this? I'm sure Raheem, he's a good defensive coordinator. They'll come up with something. Now the players gonna have to play and execute.
Right.
Todd said, why give the job to Pitts to Chip Watts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that we discussed that. Yeah. They that's a
Todd,
Charlie Warner job.
Right. The whole thing. The other thing I gotta ask. One of the guys that I thought was going to be a key to helping this team win. Another guy that was devoid of touches. Now I know a lot of times the situational football you can't do it, but Tyler Algiers touched the ball 3 times. That's it. And for me, if you got a guy coming off the edge, you need somebody that can run in between the tackles. I'm not trying to say that Bijan can't, but Algiers is just a brutal runner of the ball. I'm like, hey, man, if you got a team that's trying to out-physical you, why don't you give the bowling ball a few more carries, man, to try to get your running game started? I don't get it.
Yeah, your quarterback can't playing off his leg, so why are you throwing it 26 times and you can't block it? So I'm like, hey, load it up, and you got 2 running backs, use both of them. The pass catcher's gonna be mad, but they need to block for right now until Kirk can start throwing it on a regular. But yeah, that was it was pointed out to me that Drake London's their best player. Bijan and Pitts looked average, and they're underusing Algier. So he's got probably another year, and then he can probably hit free agency and get him a real big contract, kind of like what Michael Turner did with the Chargers when he backed up LaDainian Tomlinson. When he got free agency, the Falcons paid him a lot of money, and he carried the running game. So that's probably what's going to happen. He was a 5th-round pick too. That's probably what's going to happen with Algier because he's a former 1,000-yard back. He was one of the top runners after yards after contact, and he's going to probably get, they probably got to make him a bigger part of the game plan against the Eagles and, try to run the clock and keep that offense off the field. Why
I agree.
JT
I
did
mean,
Hutton says, he said, what
so?
did it sound like in the bands on Sunday? Did the Steeler fans dominate the crowd noise? He said, I saw TJ Watt getting pumping up the Steelers fans on third downs. Yeah, he was. He was acting like he was at home.
Yeah, he because it was about 50%. And they did drown out the Falcon fans, and the Falcon fans started booing. But the team was on a silent count at
isn't that
home.
crazy? At home.
That's crazy. And that led to the one snap
He's
that
crazy.
hit Dwelly's leg. Because Kurt's trying to tell him to stop, then he tells him come, then he tells him stop, then he tells him come. They hike the ball, hits him in the leg, and TJ Watt recovers it. So yeah, the noise affected that play, and the Falcons weren't any good after that. They were on the 32, getting ready to drive in and take the lead back. It's 15-10, I believe. And
Yeah.
the
What
fans
amazes
have.
me with the Falcon fans.
Well, no, it makes sense, Tree. It's the economics of the PSLs now. Okay, they wanted to sell PSLs. Okay, they crazy prices. So people try to get their money back. And they sell them on the secondary market to the opposing fans. You could got $970 for one of your tickets. And that'll pay for half of your tickets for the year. So if you sold all
That makes
three
sense.
games, if you sold all three, the three games that are drawing the big fans are the Steeler game, the Cowboy, and the Chiefs game. So if you sold out three of those tickets, you might have made money on your season tickets, and you get to go to the other 5 games. So that's they kind of did this to themselves by charging
Okay.
PSLs and making the tickets prices higher than the common man can afford, but we still buy them. And then we like, oh man, I better try to make some of this money back. And that's the business. That's the ticket broker business, and the Reverend's raising his hand.
I gotta admit, I didn't, I obviously have one because for some reason the Falcons don't like me anymore, so I can't get credentials. But I said at least gonna go to the game, kind of watch them in person. But the other ticket, I'm like, hey man, this thing gonna get sold. And just to give you an idea, my season tickets are in a nosebleed. I'm like at 302 or something like that, whatever section I'm in. A single ticket for that game, I put it. There were a couple of the guys that sold this for $200. I put mine on for like 175. It sold in 10 minutes. That Steeler game. So, you know, I had to do what I had to do.
I will say this because I agree, D-Led. That's one of the things that I said after they built Mercedes-Benz Stadium and how they started doing the tickets. I thought it was crazy. I remember the first year where all you saw were red seats because they were empty. And you're right, they did bring this on themselves because if you can sell the tickets for that much, of course, you're going to sell it. I mean, I think any person would. But the thing that really gets me, because even last year when the Vikings came, I was so shocked that honestly, I felt like I was in Minnesota. That's how many Viking fans were there. And it seemed like we had more Viking fans in the stadium than Falcon fans. So it was just interesting. But now that you say that that's what's going on, now it makes sense as to why the opposing team seems to have more or half of the fans, which I wasn't even thinking about. But yeah, that is crazy, and they need to do something about that.
No, the other thing is, hey, we got the big pretty airport. It's easy to get in here. You can get to the stadium, and hey, it's cold in Minnesota, so they want to come down for a weekend trip. It's cold in Pittsburgh, and a lot of the fans can't get tickets in Pittsburgh, but they can get the road tickets. The Packers started this in the '90s when the Packers got good in the '90s, and I was covering them. There were plenty stadiums they took over. St. Louis, I remember them. They clinched the NFC. Would have been the Central back then before it became the North. And they're in the RCA Dome at the time. No, that's Indy. It was the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, TWA. And I'm leaving the stadium. They're still there going, go Pack, go. They have been down so long. But yeah, they started that. That's when I first started seeing people take over visiting stadiums. It was in the '90s.
Wow. Okay.
One more question
I
for
can
you,
tell you one
D-Led.
place they're not taking over.
Where at? Where are they not taking over?
Oh, I was saying I can tell you one place where they'll never take over the stadium, and that's in Detroit. Todd said,
Oh
last
no.
question for
Yeah.
D-Led.
Yeah. Yeah, last
What's this
question.
team's record?
I still say 11-6. I'm not. I know what I'm looking at now. I finally seen the team play. I see what he's trying to do. And you know, they got to put together a game. They got to try to do it here in the next 2 weeks. So we'll see. We'll see if they can. If they could put together a game and beat one of these two teams, you know, then I'll stay with 11-6. But you know, they put together part of a game, but I wasn't expecting too much from them in the first game because they never played together. Now they got to build on that game and try to get a little bit stouter in the line. If I'm the O line coach and the D line coach, I'm yelling at people this week.
Fantasy Football Ghost Strategy says the Benz will be Jerry's World East in November.
Well, it's gonna be the Chief Nation on next Sunday night. So that's gonna be on national TV. That's gonna look real bad. They're gonna probably try to tell ABC to hey turn down the pump some fake. Let us pump some fake noise back in there like they used to do.
Oh boy!
Let us
You know,
pump some Falcons.
They used to
And then
pump
I
fake
don't know.
noise.
yeah, they got a huge fine for that. Big fine. What was it? You had
Yeah, that
200 grand?
Yeah, it was a lot.
What?
Man,
Wait,
yeah.
was this
Yep.
the Mercedes Benz or was this
Yep.
in the Georgia Dome?
Mercedes Benz.
It was in the
Mercedes Benz.
Georgia Dome.
Oh, Georgia
The
Dome. Okay, got you.
Georgia
Yep.
Dome, yeah.
Because that Georgia Dome, listen, it was always so
Well,
I quit. I did not know that.
yeah, well, they stole it from Minnesota. Minnesota used to do it too at the old Hubert Humphrey Dome. That's where, you know, that wasn't original.
Wow,
But,
that's crazy.
the other thing is they give out I don't know why they gave the fans white surrender flags.
Oh man.
Somebody in
That's not
marketing was
smart.
like, hey, we're gonna give out white flags. So it's on
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They do it. They
That's
do.
not
You think the
smart.
flags be red?
Yeah,
Jeez.
red or black, anything,
Right.
not white.
That's not.
They think it
that's
probably
not-
looks good on TV, but I mean that's like basically they waving their white surrender flags.
that part.
We got talking about that, D-Led. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that is true. That's you like we quit. Well, you know, the other thing that I find kind of interesting here in getting to the game is that the number of people, and I think these are people that are season ticket holders getting their money. When I go by the tailgate, I'm like, I don't get it. You're out here. I mean, D-Led, they have these inflatable tents. They got the smoker grill going, and I see 10, 15, 20 people at the parking lot watching the game. And they're like, well, we have a better time out here because all of our friends, I think a lot of it, like Jason that popped up before, he's our cameraman for high school football. He said, Jonathan, me and my dad, he said, we had tickets for years. He said, but the PSL by itself for the same amount of what I used to pay for season tickets. He's like, I can't do it. You know, and then you're paying for ticket prices on top of that.
Yeah,
The personal seat license.
I thought that was
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, it's a condo.
Like,
Yeah, one of my friends, a former player, you know, he likes to go and take the family. He's been going for years, and I couldn't believe what he paid, but he kept his tickets, and you know that now they're starting to look at him as investment.
all right.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
Jason
sense
got
because
kicked out
I
of
know
that.
some people with season ticket holders and they have really great seats, but it makes sense why they only go to a few games now.
Yeah, they got
Well,
to
D-Led
sell
hit
it.
on the head. You're making a ton of money. I mean, especially if you have the good seats. I mean, you can basically, like D-Let said, you can, on these games, like when a Dallas comes to town, you can almost pay for your season tickets for the year on those games because those like I said, they're paying, I'm thinking to myself, they're paying me $200 a pop. Or some guys got a little bit more if they were closer down. I'm in the 300 section. So I'm thinking to myself, what are people paying if they want to get down to 100 section?
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. My seats were they're in my friend's corporation name. I did some legal work for, but they were 124 row 3, And at the Georgia Dome, they were when I got them, they were $30 a ticket, so it was $300. So it was $600 for two season passes. It was $600. So this is like 2004, 2003. And so when I started covering the team, I got them put into the corporation's name. And, fortunately, my boys, they're doing good. And they still
Sure.
have seats. They still have seats. I can use them if the kids come home and they want to go and stuff. So, it's I know from 03 to 04 to what the tickets are now in 124. And it's 300-400% increase, something like that.
That's
crazy.
incredible.
Yeah,
Absolutely incredible.
But God bless the NFL, they're making the money hand over fist. They went from 2011 to trying to be a $1 billion to $2 billion business. They're up to like $10 billion.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Roger Goodell's that's why he keeps getting new contracts.
He's a bad man. What is that now? 33 million a year or 40 million? He's up there, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, he introduced me.
My
in
husband
Canton,
told me how much he makes.
Yeah, that's my dude now. He introduced me in Canton, and he's like, "Hey, I was real happy you won the award." And so, if we need anything, we can call him.
And it's funny. He came. I saw a side of him that a lot of people. I think I got it up on YouTube somewhere. But anyway, he comes down. He came down for John Hope Bryant, his Hope Conference here in Atlanta, and I didn't realize that his father was in politics and took over the seat when Robert Kennedy was shot and killed. I had no idea that Roger's family was kind of in politics like that, and that he's always been his family's been kind of always in the middle of stuff. So it's now I'm getting a better picture of this guy. But yeah, he's making a lot of money. There's no doubt. Well, the league's making a lot of money, so I guess they can pay him like that.
He does make a lot of money, but I do also think that he is the perfect man for the job. I've seen many occasions and instances just how he handles things. So I think he does it well, but that's just my opinion. I know that a lot of other people would disagree with me from what I hear, but I could be a little biased just because I appreciate the fact that how he always treated my husband, and he didn't have to call me after he passed away and checked on me multiple times and things of that nature. So I definitely have a soft place in my heart for him.
So I tell everybody, nobody's paying you that kind of money if you can't do the job. That's not a job you just get for being for what you want to call it, all the kind of nepotism. It doesn't work like that. If they're paying you that kind of money, you are earning that money. No doubt about it. And the guy, I mean, everybody can say that, but this guy's been booed. He's been sworn at, all kind of stuff, but he still gets the best bear hugs of all time every year. Because when them guys come out, they don't care nothing about that. And I'm surprised the guy's ribs are still intact. I think a couple of guys grab him. I'm thinking, hey man, you might hurt Roger. I don't know. But I tell you what, guys, you know how we do it. It's that time to wrap the show up, and we want to make sure that all of you know how to find out more about our guests and co-hosts. So you know how it goes. D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Yes, thanks for having me on Real Talk Sports, Reverend. You can find our work on ajc.com. We appreciate it if you subscribe. And we're on Instagram at DOrlandoLed and on the Twitter /X platform at DOrlandoAJC. Thank you so much for having me. You all take care.
There he goes. God bless you, sir. We'll see you again soon, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
No doubt, brother. Yeah, congratulations, man. Just great kudos, man. Good to see well-deserved, a lifetime of work. It's still going. That's a cool thing. Still going. Appreciate you, man. Ms. Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Oh, look, you actually corrected it this time. Well, I will say that you can go ahead and just remove that one. But you can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13. You don't have to delete the Ms. America International 2022. I am going to use that for something in the future. But to follow me and my journey, I will only post on Purple Diva 13 in regards to me or things that I'm doing to give back to the community. So stay tuned for what that page will become in the near future. But thanks for watching.
Once again, Real Talk Sports, breaking news from the Queen.
Oh, and happy birthday to my bestie. Today is her birthday. We've been best friends since high school. And Ebenezer, her name is Ebony. I call her Ebenezer. Happy birthday. Love you.
Birthday greetings from the Queen. What's better than that? All right, guys, we're about to wrap it up here again. We appreciate those of you who have tuned in today to join us here. Remember, you can follow me anywhere on social media at Minister J Simmons. That's Minister, the letter J, S-I-M-M. Or you just follow the show. That's really the best bet. Real Talk Sports and number 7 on all social media platforms. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I just want to remind you that, look, man, this is a crazy world we live in. We see that there's mass shootings everywhere. We see all types of crime and things happening. So I'm just going to tell you, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, please, ma'am, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Because nobody loves you like him. He died for you and he rose from the dead. So here's the cool thing. If you repent of your sins and believe in him, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that happy place called heaven, where there's no pain, no pandemics, no sorrow. You never get old. You never get die, nothing. It's the most beautiful place ever created. Matter of fact, the streets are paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. You avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I just mentioned will not be there. It's dark, it's dreary, it's painful, it's fiery, and you're stuck with the devil and all his demonic host. And most of all, you cut off from God and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know. I like option number 1 a whole lot better than option number 2. All right, guys, we're signing off now. And as we do, we want to say to you, as we do each and every week, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and take care. See you.